welcome to the Jack Nichol Show. To start things off, I'm going to start by saying this is a new show. We're going to have them about once a week, just to talk to you about whatever's on my mind, whatever's going on in the world. Shoot the shit, maybe on the couch here. Nothing is censored. We're going to swear like fuck. Just going to get it over with right now. Keep it off limits. Keep it anything on limits. Just say whatever you want, like I am right now. So today, we're sticking with a specific subject. The other ones, I promise, will get funny. They'll be for everyone who has, like, my sense of humor. Like, tonight's episode is all for the geeks. Woohoo! We're talking Captain America Civil War, the third installment in the Captain America trilogy, and most likely the final one. But we'll get into that later. To start things off, I thought it'd be good to read the synopsis for Captain America Civil War. The plot synopsis, what the hell's going on in this movie? All the people who saw the concept art and didn't read the comics or saw the trailer, why the fuck is Captain America and Iron Man fighting each other? Why are they on different sides? What the hell's going on? What happened to the Avengers? Did you not watch Avengers Age of Ultron? I know you didn't read any comic books, so you don't have any idea what the fuck's going on. So I'm going to tell you what's going on. So why don't we take a look at that plot synopsis?
Political pressure mounts to install a system of accountability when the actions of the Avengers lead to collateral damage. The new status quo deeply divides members of the team. Captain America, Chris Evans, believes superheroes should remain free to defend humanity without government interference. Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., sharply disagrees and supports oversight. As the debate escalates into an all-out feud, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, and Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, must pick a side.
The plot synopsis, we should get into a few things. Now, like I said, I was going to address our budget. Like I said, it's pretty cheap looking right now. It's really geeky, little things like that. Like I said, the episodes, we're going to talk about some superhero things and stuff too. What's going on in the comic book world, what's going on in the collecting world, what's going on in the movie world, what's going on in the video game world, all that kind of stuff. We may have a co-host at some point. I may add someone in here beside me. I may have someone beside being interviewed. We're definitely going to have guests at some point, and it's just going to be on a variety of different topics just to keep people interested in what's going on in the life of Jack and what's going on in this world we live in throughout this summer. So like I said, that's been addressed. We're going to go for more humorous, more inappropriate, all kinds of different varieties of humor, and just try and capture a wide audience for the rest of the stuff. If you want to help out with this show, be a part in any way, let me know. Contact me through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Text me, call me. You know what I'm a part of. Kim Possible. If you want to reach me, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you want to be a part of the show in any way, let me know. We can have, if you're really into video games, we'll just shoot the shit about video games and what you think about what's your favorite company, what's going on in that world, what do you want to do, what do you want to see in the next couple of years. Wrestling, got a lot of wrestling fans. I'm a wrestling fan myself. We can talk all kinds of that stuff. So now I want to get into tonight's episode, our debut episode. I've read you the plot synopsis. I told you what we're going to talk about. We have Iron Man here. We have an Avengers mug right here. Now, Wolverine, Thor, will not be in Captain America Civil War, but Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America will be. And we have a McFarlane Spider-Man poster behind me because I thought that adds just really ties this set together. Same with the London thing. Tom Holland is English, so I thought that works pretty well. So first thing I want to talk about is Scarlett Johansson. Just let that sink in there. I know what you guys are thinking right away. What perverted thing is he going to say right now? No, I want to talk about Black Widow. Black Widow and Captain America, even though she debuted in Iron Man 2, she has had a way closer relationship with Captain America the whole way through. And I'm not talking about that cheesy kiss and Winter Soldier or anything. They have a cute brother-sister friendship relationship going, and that's something I kind of really want to see keep going. And I don't know if it's going to go, because from what we're seeing right now, she is all on Iron Man's side. Now, in that second trailer, there was some stuff saying it looks like she's going to be a double agent or something, and that's what I hope. I hope she's starting on Iron Man's side, trying to do the right thing, but she knows Cap is the way to be. Cap is, even though he's fighting against the law, is the right thing to do. You're giving up too much freedom, too much of your own freedom, if you side with Iron Man's side. Now, I'm going to try to keep this unbiased because for the movie, I'd say I'm more Team Iron Man, just because Spider-Man, come on, Spider-Man. But in the comics, he switched sides partway through, and I was always a Captain America fan because of that, on the Captain America side. So yeah, I kind of hope they do. I don't want her to die or anything, but I want her to join Captain America's side by the end of that movie. I don't really know what her role would be in Infinity War, but I think there's really some room to add her in there. Like, they're looking at adding like 89 characters or something, and if you kill off certain ones we have right now, it's just going to be all over the place. Kind of like where I'm going right now. So that's what I want to see from Black Widow. We just heard today, just announced that Netflix really is pushing for a Punisher TV series, and, well, Netflix series. And after the success of Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Daredevil Season 2 introducing the Punisher, everybody wants a solo Punisher show now, and they've just announced that they're really trying to get it to happen now. And I think that's awesome. Why I'm bringing the Punisher into this is the Punisher had a pretty strong role in the Civil War comic books, and I would love to see on the big screen that part where he saves Spider-Man and he brings a beaten up Spider-Man in and says he needs a medic right now, and that's where we learn Frank Castle, the Punisher, joins Captain America's side after that, even though Captain America's never really accepted the Punisher's methods. And we get to see him join that side, and we get to see Spider-Man switch sides after that, which is really cool, after having his final disagreement with Iron Man. Why I brought him into this, besides saying I'd love to see that movie, is that scene on the big screen. Even to the Death of Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man storyline, where Captain America was carrying a beaten down Spider-Man. Lots of people have been saying that would be really cool to see on the big screen. Civil War is the perfect chance for that. That's like taking Spider-Man out of the fight. We'll see him in Homecoming next year. So why I'm bringing Punisher into this conversation is Holland auditioned with the Punisher for their Marvel roles, and who knows what they did. Maybe we'll never get to see their audition tapes or their footage of what they did. Maybe they did that scene. Maybe they did a classic Punisher Spider-Man face-off. You know the one I'm talking about. He's turning, he's got the sniper rifle on him. Maybe they acted out something from that famous issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Who knows? But the fact that they auditioned together and they revealed that, they're either trying to start up some kind of rumor, or they're trying to get to the point that we're going to see the Punisher in the Civil War movie, or we're going to see Spider-Man in the new Punisher show. That'd be awesome. Either one of those would be great. I would much rather, like I said, we're trying to keep this mostly Civil War related, so the Punisher in that would be awesome. That being said, because there's all that rumor about Punisher, you can't not have any rumors, theories about the Daredevil being in, because it was his show that introduced the Punisher, and Daredevil had a really strong role in the Civil War comic books. He was Team Cap. He was awesome. Did all kinds of cool things. Kicked ass as always. I think Daredevil should be in, is more likely to be in than the Punisher, if you ask me, and would finally bridge the gap between the Netflix shows and the Marvel Cinematic Universes. I think that'd be really cool. I'm kind of hoping we get a lot of Maria Hill as well. Maria Hill is a fucking bitch in the comic books, and not a lot of people see that because Kobe Smulders is so nice and so cool, and she's just kind of like a silent badass and doesn't do a lot in the Marvel movies, but when she does it kind of like cool and with this comedic relief. And Maria Hill isn't like that in the comics, but like I said, I like her movie roles. I just need her to turn into a big bitch and be totally Team Iron Man, because that's what we need. She is Iron Man's like right-hand man. She's there with S.H.I.E.L.D., with all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, trying to arrest Captain America and the others as well. That awesome scene where Captain America jumps and hijacks a jet to escape from S.H.I.E.L.D. and tells the guy to watch his language and says, like, to keep flying and all that. Don't want to see that in the movie, but something similar leading up to that point, like he just jumps out a window or something after he's confronted by Hill and them, would be really cool. So we need her to, like, toughen up and, like, hold those guns all mean and just be, You need her to be just mean. In terms of the characters you see in the movie and the comic books, there was a way bigger amount of people in the Civil War storyline in the comic books. Like, a lot of people on each side. And we had, like, Ragnarok, the clone of Thor that Iron Man created, and we had Yellow Jacket and all this stuff, and Goliath, and tons of action scenes, the whole Nitro blowing up the whole neighborhood and stuff. We're not going to get that. There's all kinds of stuff that's missing. Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Cable and Deadpool, just everywhere. Cloak and Dagger, all the series. It went everywhere. Like, not every Marvel character was a part of it, but there was a ton of them in there. And they had all their own split-off little mini-series parts, and they had little, like, issues in their own series dealing with Civil War. And then they had the 7 main Civil War issues, and they all tied together into this one epic fight. And, like, everyone knows, if you know me personally, I'm a huge Deadpool fan, but I'm not like, oh my god, Deadpool's not in Civil War, because his role wasn't that huge. Like, I thought it was awesome when he was fighting Team Cap and all that in the comics and the Cable and Deadpool series and stuff, but I'm not heartbroken or anything that he's not in the movie. I am totally an R-rated Deadpool, and a toned-down one for Captain America 3, no thanks. But, like, that's what I feel like. Daredevil, Punisher, those kind of guys could be in it if it's done right. We got Spider-Man. Preferably, let's talk Spider-Man now. Tom Holland, from the footage and the trailer and the costume, I think you're going to be a really cool kid. We get this young Spider-Man. I think you're going to be a good Peter Parker, good Spider-Man. I personally had no problems with Tobey Maguire. I personally had no problems with Andrew Garfield. I hate that we had to reboot in the first place for Andrew Garfield to come in, because I would have liked a Spider-Man 4. Tobey Maguire was awesome in my opinion, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but just want to point that out now. And Andrew Garfield I thought was great. Now the movies had some problems. All of them. All those 5 movies had some problems, but costumes were well done. For Spider-Man, they acted great. They knew what they were doing. Tom Holland is like a year younger than me, I believe, and I just hope he nails the role. He's getting in shape. He's getting the hair. He's got the look down. I just really hope they know what they're doing with Spider-Man and they don't screw him up. The costume looks great. Those Ditko eyes and everything, and the lenses type style is really cool. Very reminiscent of the 60s and 70s Spider-Man, which is awesome. We've never really seen that in the other 2 movies. In terms of his swinging and fighting style, we've seen really cool. Looks like something we haven't seen before in the movies, so that's awesome. My one big gripe is, since Sony and Marvel, like Disney, work together and they have this agreement over using Spider-Man, why couldn't we have just kept Andrew Garfield? Because in the Civil War comics, which a lot of people don't care about, this little fact is Spider-Man was grown up. He was not a teenager. He was married to Mary Jane. He was an adult. Him taking off his mask and revealing himself was so huge because he'd been hidden being Spider-Man for so many years, and we're not going to have that effect. We probably won't see, we're not going to see him like reveal his identity or anything, because this is the start of Spider-Man, but we could have had that older Spider-Man who's just graduated from high school, like we saw in the beginning of Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's a young adult. We could have just gone that route for Spider-Man in the Civil War movie, and we could have had not to do another origin story. I am sick of origin stories. I am 20 years old, and this is going to be the third, next year is going to be the third, I repeat, third Spider-Man origin story I'm introduced with in the 2000s. Just in the 2000s alone. That's not counting all the other origin Spider-Man stories I've read or watched. We're getting 3 just in movie form. Like, that's not counting the TV shows, the comic books, everything else I've looked at. And it's, oh my god. That's like just a little thing they could have kept doing. In terms of what I'm seeing in the movie that I like, fight scenes. Those Russo brothers really know what they're doing with tossing that shield around. So freaking cool. And the fighting choreography looks awesome. Iron Man, when he's getting beaten up from Winter Soldier and Cap, though, hope that's just kind of like to show the two of them kicking his ass, because shoot back, Iron Man. Do something. You're tougher than that. I think it's just because they've worn him down or something, but like Iron Man's tougher than that. Like, he's just getting wrecked. I hope that's not what we're going to just see for that fight scene, but we know Iron Man's going to kick ass in other parts, so it's like, I hope he just, like I said, I'm Team Cap, but Iron Man needs to kick his ass too. In terms of War Machine is my favorite Iron Man character, and a lot of people's favorite Marvel in general characters, and he has been treated the worst in the Marvel Universe for a character who's been in the movies, but they still haven't treated right. He's been in since Iron Man 1, but we got him as War Machine in Iron Man 2. That armor was cool. Then we got him in Iron Man 3, and you turned him into Iron Patriot. Ugh! Why would you do that? Iron Patriot, for those who don't know, was Norman Osborn in his own armor that resembled an American flag. Oh, so stupid unless it's Norman Osborn, which we could have bridged the gap again there and just put it all together. Ugh. Don't know where I'm going with that, but just on a little side note there. Oh, why would they do that to War Machine? Then we had him back in normal for Avengers 2, and then they changed his armor up again and put him back in the black and gray, and then we're getting him in another armor for Civil War, and he has like this hammer thing. And I'm just hoping for that beginning part, because Age of Ultron ended with him being a part of that new Avengers. I just hope the beginning part for Civil War is we get a really badass War Machine fight. Because all we've seen him do that is cool is that one scene in Iron Man 2 where him and Iron Man are like side by side just shooting the drones and everything. That is all we've got. And that's like a 2-minute scene, not even 2 minutes maybe. Might only be like 30 seconds. I haven't seen it in a while, but I just hope they finally treat him right, and that all the trailers showing him getting shot out of the sky, he's not dead. He's just hurt. That is, I just hope he's not gone. He's been treated so horribly in the Marvel Universe, and like I've been talking with people about it. What if, like my coworkers and stuff, what if it's just a trick? Like he's not actually gonna die, and I think he is fucked. I think they've screwed War Machine over for the last time, and they're just getting him out of there, which I think is totally unfair, but to show that much in the trailers and then not kill him, you gotta wonder, what is he actually gonna do when he's alive then? And, yeah, Iron Man, there's some rumors, like, can you imagine how everyone's mind, like the internet, the world, everyone who sees that movie, their heads would just explode if they killed Iron Man. Everything would be so screwed up after that. Robert Downey Jr. draws people into those movies because he's a well-known, amazing actor. And killing him off, such a, change. No one would expect it. And because if you've read the comics, you all gotta have somewhat of an idea that Captain America will most likely die. Even if you haven't read the comics, you gotta think, who's gonna die? And Captain America, I love Chris Evans. He's awesome. He's the perfect Captain America. But Civil War is completely useless if you do not kill the main part of it. Now, ever since they announced, Kevin Feige, however he says his last name, Feige, he said ages ago that Avengers 3 he thinks would be the perfect time for Civil War, and everyone went nuts. That's awesome. And we kind of got that. We got Captain America 3 is going to be Civil War. And awesome. I feel like Civil War, it's a longer Marvel movie. It's one of the longest ones, which is good, because this is almost like one of those movies that should be split into 2 parts. And I feel like Civil War is going to be, you're on the edge of your seat and probably in tears by the end of it. Because, in my opinion, Chris Evans has to die. Like I said, I love the movie Captain America. He's so badass. but he needs to die in the storyline because in the original comic books, he gets arrested because he surrenders. He's winning the fight. His team's winning the fight against Iron Man's side, and Captain America realizes they're not fighting for the people anymore. They're just fighting. And he takes off his mask and surrenders, and he gets arrested. And then later on, it's when he's being taken to courthouse, he gets shot. And I'm not going to say anything about that because I might be spoiling too much from the comics for people. But I would like to see the shot happen in the movie. I would like to see it either be Sharon or Crossbones. I think either one of them could do that and it would work really well. And I think it'd be unexpected. And I think there are really two that would be really cool to have do it. Kill Captain America. And it would look really cool in the movie. And what I think about someone taking Captain America's place later on is we seen Bucky without an arm and lying on the ground. A lot of people are thinking he's going to die. I don't think Bucky Barnes is going to die. I think he has a way bigger chance of becoming the new Captain America than Falcon does. Falcon did make a pretty cool Captain America in the comics, and so did Bucky. They're nowhere near as close as Steve Rogers was, but they both stand a really cool chance of just being a part of this and moving on with the franchise and stuff. Steve Rogers, he has to die. I'm totally on board for him coming back for Avengers Infinity War, like Part 2. They bring him back with one of the gems or something. Totally awesome. But for Civil War, it just doesn't feel like Civil War to me if he doesn't die. It doesn't have to be Iron Man who kills him, but it does have to. He has to die at some point. So like I've said, I'm really looking forward to this movie. I'm going to go check it out next week for sure. Opening day probably, or opening weekend at least. Not going to miss out. Spoilers will be everywhere, so if you're wanting to go into this movie almost completely as fresh, open-minded as you can, please stay off the internet starting Friday morning. They will be everywhere. Part of Facebook groups, if you're an ACBA person like me, somebody's going to spoil what happens. They're going to do some shot, and they're just going to get their asshole ripped apart, which I would be happy to do for them for spoiling the movie. All kinds of stuff like that's going to happen. And it's just stay off the internet for Friday. Stay as far away from superhero stuff as you can. Anytime you see Civil War, Captain America, Iron Man, blah, 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 just stay away from it. You don't want to get anything spoiled for you. This movie is going to be fan-freaking-tastic, and you don't want to miss anything. You're going to be on the edge of your seat. I'm excited just thinking about it. We're wrapping the show up a little over 25 minutes for this first episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like I said, our next episodes, we're going to add a little more humor and stuff. We're going to try and not have it so focused solely on comic books and stuff. I'm going to cut it off here because I could talk all day. And like I said, this is supposed to be a limited thing and only talk for a little bit and once a week. So I'm going to cut it off here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, if you want to be a part of this, if you want to be a future guest, let me know. I'm always going to be looking for new things to do with the show. Next episode, like I said, we're going to talk about a huge variety of things. What's going on in the world? Some big-name actors who've been cast in a certain superhero movie coming up in a couple years. All kinds of stuff that just needs to be addressed and would have been addressed in this one if I didn't make it solely for Captain America Civil War. So, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon. Jack out.
I'm having a good time, A shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity.